Ron Hextall, the Flyers general manager, kind enough to join us here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline here on 97.3 ESPN as the Flyers bring back an old friend, as we were just talking about the '08 Phillies, reunions all over the place. Ron Hextall, how are you, pal?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Happy 4th of July to you. And you guys got in with a little fireworks there, bringing back JVR. And, obviously you guys looking to add a little scoring punch, and he provides that for you. He
does. We had a couple forwards pinpointed there and kind of hoping to get two, but we got one, and we're certainly happy to bring James on board.
Now, obviously, he's been here before, so you know him pretty well. How much did that kind of intel lead you to, making the connection to bring him back here?
Well, it helps both sides. I think he first of all, he knew the organization and he knew the area. We knew the player. We knew the person. I think knowing the person is more important for us. Our scouts, we know the players. But knowing the person certainly gives us comfort, and him knowing some of our players, I think, worked our way as well. So I think it worked well for both sides.
Hexy's 36 goals for JVR last season. I saw somebody the other night say something about don't expect that right away because of the style the Flyers play. I look at it the other way. Like, why not? What are your expectations for a guy like JVR when he comes in?
Well, we look at him 25 to 30 goal scorer, and if you expect that, we believe we should get that. If he scores 36 again or 38, that's terrific as well. But you always look when you're watching players and scouting players, you're always looking who they're playing with, and he's going to play with good players here as he did in Toronto. So we expect him to be a very productive player for us.
Left wing was an area that needed to be addressed, I'm sure you feel, and you've done that. How about some of the other areas like third-line center or veteran defenseman?
Yeah, well, we did. We tried to sign those types of pieces, but we weren't going to bring in players on multi-year deals that weren't upgrades on the guys that we currently have or some of the kids that we have coming. So, if we can get a clear upgrade, we'll do it, and we certainly try to do that in free agency. It wasn't there, so we'll either go from within or we'll look for a tweak on the trade market here. But we've got a number of guys we feel can play the 3C hole, so we feel fairly comfortable with the guys we have. We've got Jordan Wheel, you got Scott Lott, and we're going to put G back in there. We'll see how it works out, and until you actually see the chemistry of the lines, you don't know. But at this point, we feel pretty comfortable with those guys, and we've got a couple kids that we believe will be pushing as well.
Ron Hextall is on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline with us. You mentioned JVR 25 to 30. If he gets 36 again, that's great. Is there a guy or a pairing that you envision him fitting in with well on this roster?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, if you're a left winger or you're a left shot, typically you want to play with a right-handed centerman. So obviously that takes you to either Nolan Patrick or Claude Giroux. So, whether G will play with Coots again, I guess is yet to be determined. So I would envision, though, that he'd probably play with Nolan Patrick or possibly even Claude.
Ron Hextall's with us. Flyers bring James Van Riemsdyk back, and actually, I've talked to some hockey people that say everybody has a top line. If you have two lines or a good solid six, you're in good shape. But to really win, you need three solid lines. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's fair to say. In this day and age, it's so hard to score. You need scoring from really throughout your lineup. Even guys that are playing 10 minutes, you want a few goals from them. I mean, Scotty Lawton scored 10 goals for us last year in a 10-minute type of role, and those are important goals as well. So yeah, you need scoring throughout your lineup for sure.
You talked about 3C and young guys. Of course, we like to connect the dots in the media side and say, "Oh, Morgan Frost, boom, plug him in." But I know you're reluctant to bring up guys too fast.
Well, I love when people say they want to bring Morgan Frost in, but they've never seen him play a game.
I've seen some YouTube video. Does that count?
No, that doesn't count because you see the highlights. You don't see any of the lowlights. So yeah, that's something. If one of our young players, and we proved it 2 years ago with Travis Konechny, no one here expected him to make our team. We certainly expected him to show well in camp, but he came in and he grabbed the spot. He was better than the guys that we currently had on our team, so he made the team. So if a young player comes in and shows us that he's better. He's an upgrade for us, whether it's a Vorobiev or a Phil Myers or whoever. We're gonna look long and hard at them.
Hey, Hexie, the guys that are on your current roster, is there somebody that you're hoping that makes that big jump, that maybe, had a mediocre year or didn't hit expectations, that you're hoping for much bigger things from than they gave you last season?
That's kind of a lot to put on one guy, but I think, you look at certain players and you go, like, obviously G had a great year and Voracek had a great year and Coots had a great year. Travis Konechny had a pretty good year, but obviously he's a young guy, so there's a little bit more there. I think Nolan Patrick last year in the second half showed us the type of player he's going to be. The first half was a little bit quiet, so hopefully Patty takes a bit of a step, and you throw Van Riemsdyk in there, and then people saw Oscar Lindblom a little bit last year. We expect Oscar to take a step. So if our older guys kind of hold where they are and our younger guys push up a little bit and maybe add a young guy or two in our roster, I think when you look at our back end, obviously Provorov and Ghost are proven players, but Travis Sanheim, there's a lot of upside. Hager had a good year for us last year. And Phil Myers is knocking on the door. So we're excited about where we're at. And when you have a team that has young players on it, we always call it upside. Your team's better in January than it is in October. So we're looking forward to the season.
Ron Hextall with us on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. How about Wayne Simmons, Hexie? Because there were people that were trying to connect the dots and say that JVR coming might make an issue for Wayne Simmons. Do you look to see Wayne Simmons as a Flyer now and in the future?
Simmer's a Flyer, and we like to keep Simmer. I can't tell you right now whether that's going to work out or not because I don't have a crystal ball. But we'd certainly like to keep him. He's a big part of our team. He's a big part of our culture, and he's been a big part of the city as well.
I mean, as a former player, could you put into words for just you say we don't see Morgan Frost play, you only see the highlights on YouTube. What didn't we see that Wayne Simmons had to go through last season? Because people thought it was just a punch in the mouth, but in reality, he had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, no, he did. I mean, he was banged up. He started the year. That way, and obviously it didn't help him. But Wayne's a tough guy. He battled through it, which a lot of our guys do. I think it's a little bit overblown in terms of the season that he had. Simmer, we expect him to be somewhere in the 30-goal range, but everybody talks about how bad a year he had. He still scored 24 goals, so he didn't have the terrible year. I don't think that people think he had. Can he play better? Yeah, he can play better, and he's healthy now. He was around a few days ago. He looks great, and he's going to be a very hungry hockey player.
Ron Hextall here on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline as we anticipate the Flyers season. They add James Van Riemsdyk, and I'm sure you are searching far and wide to continue to add to this team. You got any 4th of July plans? Will anybody run into you down the seashore?
No, I'm in the office, so we'll see where that goes.
All right, Hexie. Well, back to work. We appreciate you jumping on board with us.
All right, guys. It's been a pleasure.